welcome to Uping Stock Trend Prediction channel. In this video, I will demonstrate some real-time stock price fluctuation and with trend lines, so you will see how those kind of stock price fluctuate and reaches a trend line and turn direction. So the previous charts are monthly chart and weekly chart and the daily chart, so because that's a large time frame, so it's not easy to watch those kind of actual fluctuations. So I will turn it into 60 minutes chart and the 15 minutes chart and the 5 minutes chart, so it will demonstrate the real-time fluctuation of the stock price with the trend lines. So you will see how those kind of stock price reaches touches those kind of trend lines, and then it may turn direction, either drop or either increase. So you will see this kind of real-time demonstration. So 5 minutes, I use 5 minutes chart to provide just a real-time demonstration, so it's not exactly suggested to trade based on 5 minutes charts unless you have some very good tool on real-time tool to make a very prompt decision, and also need to be very cautious about the 5 minutes charts. So, but this 5 minutes chart is very good to demonstrate the real-time fluctuation. So you see, based on this 5 minutes and the 15 minutes, you can watch all those kind of movement of the stock price. So the actual fluctuation of the stock price is the vertical line, and this kind of trend lines are the Uping stock trend prediction model, and the tail of this trend line are the predicted for the next time frame, but it will be finalized after the current time frame is finished. And then the left tick is the open price, and the right tick is the current price, and when the current time frame is completed, and then it will be the closing price for the current time frame. And you can see for this 5 minutes chart, and even though when it fluctuates, you can see this fluctuate the price. When it touches this kind of surrounding trend lines, it started to turn direction, and so the movement of this stock price are even also enclosed in this kind of trend lines, even for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 60 minutes. So sometimes it may have a very good increasing momentum, it may exceed this kind of yellow trend line, but generally it is enclosed in this kind of trend lines. So you see for this, the right window, that's a 5 minutes chart, you can see this kind of fluctuation of the stock price, Tesla stock price, are also enclosed in this kind of trend lines. And you can see when it reaches this kind of blue trend line, it have a very high possibility to turn direction. So right now it has a continuous increase for this based on this 5 minutes chart, and all the trend lines are also increasing. So you can see this kind of trend lines are increasing. So the fluctuation are between this kind of yellow trend line and the blue trend line, even for 5 minutes charts. So you can watch for this kind of real-time demonstration of the stock price fluctuation compared with the trend lines. Right now, the last 5 minutes was completed, and then it starts a new 5 minutes. So that's a new time frame for 5 minutes time frame, and you can see it's opened here a little bit below this yellow trend line for 5 minutes chart. So that means it will have a kind of a relatively high possibility to start to decrease. So you can see right now it is included between this yellow trend line and the blue trend line, and you see when it tries to reaches this blue trend line, it started to turn direction, have a possibility to increase. So you can see all this kind of blue trend line, and this blue trend line is also looks like a groove. So that means it's have a relatively good support. So depends. So if it can be supported around here, and then it will try to reach up to this yellow trend line. And so generally right now it's in an increasing trend, but you can see, right now the opening price of this current 5 minutes is opened here below this yellow trend line, so it's still have a possibility that it may drop down. So based on this kind of movement of the 5 minutes chart, so you can get an idea about how about the fluctuation range of the stock price. And right now is fluctuated between this range, but depends on the actual fluctuation. You see, when it touches this blue trend line, and it started to drop, because when at the beginning of this 5 minutes chart, I mentioned it opened below this yellow trend line, so it has a tendency to drop. So when it drops to another blue trend line, and it started to almost to turn direction to increase. So generally even for this 5 minutes chart, and when it reaches to this top yellow trend line, it will have a good high possibility to decrease. And when it decreased to this kind of bottom blue trend line, and also it will have a high possibility to increase. So basically, even for this 5 minutes charts, the actual fluctuation are also enclosed between this kind of yellow trend line and the blue trend lines, and the actual trend of these trend lines are also represent the actual increase or decrease trend. So that basically represented the increasing or decreasing trend for a larger time frame. And so basically all the stock price are fluctuate between this short time frame, and also it has a general trend for the larger time frame. So all these kind of trend lines for this 5 minutes chart, basically will tell you the general increasing trend for a larger time frame, like 15 minutes or 60 minutes or daily. But even for this 5 minutes chart, you see just now when it dropped down to this yellow trend line, and it started to turn direction, started to increase, and then when it increased to this yellow trend line, and it started to decrease. So basically all these kind of trend lines, even for 5 minutes, also tell you some trends, and it also have a good indication about the high or low for even for the 5 minutes charts or 15 minutes charts, or for the shorter time frame. So right now it's started in a new 5 minutes time frame, because just now it's open here, and when it dropped down here and closed and increased to this point, and then the 5 minutes was completed, and then it started a new time frame. It carried over that kind of increasing momentum. So right now the current 5 minutes, it started to still to increase, carry over those kind of increasing momentum from the last 5 minutes, and when it tries to reach this yellow trend line for this current 5 minutes chart, and you see it's almost reaches to this yellow trend line for this 5 minutes chart, and when it's almost reaches to this yellow trend line, and it started to turn direction and started to drop, and when it dropped down to this almost this blue trend line, and it almost started to increase turn direction. So you can watch all this kind of a movement